Spacey Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria. I was like, what are we playing? Like, wow, my brain. It's like I know what I'm playing, but then my brain is like, more, wait, what? Like, anyway. So we were just in the middle of Lupin's chapter, where we're dragging Lupin, or we're supposed to say Lupine. I don't know. Somebody's gonna tell me, and it's gonna be too late because we've already played all this and like whatever. But um, I'm assuming we're supposed to pronounce it differently so that it's supposed to be like not the same. So we're like, oh, Lupin, Lupin. Oh my God, you know what I mean? I mean, again, it's the Clark Kent phenomenon. We're like, oh, well, you're Superman. Like nobody knows, but anyway. Um, but we're with him, and now Holmes is dragging him off, and this poor thing, and I love it. But anyway, so that's where we are. We're continuing. It was time to enter the Queen's house, home of the beloved necklace targeted by gentleman thief Jean Lupin. We should like to protect Odelay's eye at any cost. Please let us help. Yes, but... Will you still deny us even after I show you this? Holmes, with the finesse of one well acquainted with this treatment, revealed Her Majesty's ring. I'd only seen this man briefly at the palace, but he was of some rank. I'm sure I was correct. A sergeant, if memory served me. I won't ask you to take us to where the real necklace is hidden, only to allow us to help. Hidden? How did you know it was hidden? Holmes, what do you mean by... I'll listen to you inside. Right this way. The sergeant then seemed to welcome us in earnest. But he should know who Holmes is, so he should be like, oh, okay. Any reluctance he once felt was gone in favor of forcing us inside. The inside was bustling with police officers from left to right, upstairs and downstairs, before us, and as we stepped further in, though this truth may not bear mentioning, behind us. Ryan led us to Inspector Lestrade straight away. Good evening. We meet again, Holmes Jr. Speak to this old man. How did you know the gem in the display room is false? So it's true. I only thought you would be fools to gift-wrap the real thing for the thief. My word! Hey, you were bluffing? Not a bluff. Call it choosing my words with care to coax the answer I wanted. Ha! And there we have it. You know you have a tell. A tell in that clever tongue that gives you away as Sherlock Holmes' son, faster than if you told me yourself. Inspector, I would have us dispense with talk relating to my father. He and I are not one and the same. But of course, I meant no offense. But why? Even that sounds like something your father would say. I beg your pardon. I'll let that one slip by me. Moving right along, then. Is it so offensive, Holmes? Your father is well known for his detective work, so I'm not surprised you two have plenty in common. Miss Whitley, you're abusing my patience. It isn't easy to have a celebrity for a father. Wouldn't you say, Lupin? What? I mean, I suppose. Yes, it must be difficult to have an unreasonable father. I live in such a way that I can take pride in my accomplishments, even if there are those who would only compare mine to his. And my pride will not escape me. I shall clarify again and again that I do not live the same life as my father, quite simply because I am not my father. It's hard to say if he hates him or loves him when he goes on like this. Oh, it's only natural that he loves him. He's his father. What twisted line of thought brought you to that conclusion after hearing all I've said? Just a bit of envy, I suppose. Nothing more. My boy, if I could explain the plan. Our apologies, Inspector. Please do so. As you've concluded by your own wit, the necklace in the display room above is false. The real one is hidden in another location. Finally, tonight's the night we'll see that cunning thief locked up behind bars. No, you won't, because he's right there. I thought police officers only said those sorts of dramatic things in novels. It's the first time I've heard one say it in real life. You're right. It has much more impact when real ones say it, doesn't it? Ahem. We can't reveal its true location, of course, but we can take you to the showroom of the false one. Ryan, take him to the display room with Odelay's eye. Yes, sir. Our conversation now done, the inspector fled into the sea of officers, and the sergeant escorted us with pride in his step to our next destination. This is where Odelay's eye is being displayed. Really? It looks empty to me. Or is it like laying down? The two burly officers guarding the entrance stepped aside to allow us in. Ah. 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 Perhaps Lupin did steal the earrings, because don't these look like the fucking earrings? This looks like the earrings. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, there it was, in a glass case at the center of the room, well lighted and granted all the attention of a songstress on stage, was a divine necklace I remembered from the paper. Goodness, what a stunning necklace! So you like these sorts of things too. Girls really do love anything that sparkles. I mean, seriously, fucking glitter. God, yeah. I thought you would prefer food to jewelry. You're such a rude man. Why, I've always dreamt of wearing something so beautiful one day. And let's hope it stays a dream. Should rather think the reality is similar to dressing up Humpty Dumpty. I've said it once, and I shall say it again. You are a rude man. A horribly, awfully, dreadfully rude man. Spacey, calm down. And Holmes, don't go around saying things you don't mean. Dear Watson, you know I would never say something I don't mean. You don't need to say that so smugly. Lupin, go on. Tell the man off. Decoration is simple yet elegant. Stunning. Every part of its design is meant to draw out the gemstone at the center. And this is the imitation? It is a beauty in its own right, to be certain. Lupin? I cannot agree more with Miss Whitley. This is a lovely necklace that would suit any woman. Think of any woman, no matter how beautiful, and she would be a finer version still with this. You don't need to sell it to us, really. You have a keen eye. It may not be the real one, but I've been told the gemstone used is quite valuable. The Yard kidnapped, so to speak, a craftsman who works for the royal family to replicate the original. Don't touch the case, please! I took one step, to which Ryan responded with 2 steps to stop me. There's a trap here. We furnished this display with 2 powerful chemicals, diethyl ether and nitrous oxide. One's used in anesthetics, and the other is more commonly known as laughing gas, you see. Think of the danger. It is 15 times the potency of a normal dosage. Simply touching the case will cause it to open, so the gas will leak. Were you to inhale even the tiniest bit, you would be Ah! Of course he fell. Now, where have I heard that cry before? This is fucking great. A yelp and a thud precisely weighted the same as the one I heard in Mr. Phelps' study had my attention. I peeked around the other side of the case for the source. The ring. It was, as we all knew, Lupin. And I was more startled this time than the last. He was not holding his head or behaving in any way one does after taking a mild tumble, but he was splayed with his face flat on the floor. Did he touch the case? Oh, but if he had... Lupin, tell me you're all right! I rushed to his side. He was no longer conscious, but I, in habit, politely motioned to his body, and fretted as I did, took to polite shaking him ever so slightly to confirm what we knew, but could not say before polite observation. Not again, Lupin. It was right after the sergeant explained, too. God weeps at the idiocy of his own creation. Well, I've got his ring. Ryan, pardon us for burdening you with this matter, but might we borrow a room so he can rest? Absolutely. Come with me to the curator's office. I had warned you only minutes earlier. Don't only sleep over it. I have a feeling it would have happened even if you did. What? Oh, even if you did? Even if you didn't, is what I'm assuming. Oh. Watson, if you don't mind. Not at all. Huh. The burly assistant, sighing at the ridiculousness of it all, lifted the boy by slumping him over his back. He's not fucking passed out for real. We agreed to report to the curator's room on the ground floor. He's not fucking passed out at all. They're gonna leave him, and he's gonna fucking run off. It's great. Ha! What a blunder. Though it is no fault of yours, I must clarify. Your work would no doubt be easier had I not requested that my hiring you to remain a secret. And yet, I never thought you would be so young. Your surname is Holmes, so I assumed the man I'd hired was the Sherlock Holmes. Holmes did little to mask his dislike of the comment. The curator was an elderly man who was very good-humored about the situation, and after volunteering the sofa for Lupin to rest, he served us all tea. I hope it isn't a problem that we've barged into your office, and here you are serving us tea as though we're guests. Think nothing of it. With so many officers scouting the museum, I've much time to spare for the present. It is also my pleasure to have such a charming student come visit me. I'm charming? Oh, nonsense. You're making me blush. What's the matter with you? He doesn't mean you. And why does thinking so please you? Better to be charmed than staring daggers. Don't look so bitter before a client when all he's done is mistaken you for your dad. Watson is right. Everyone makes mistakes. It won't do you any good to hold it against them. Think of the positives. Laugh it off. Huh. Making fanciful excuses for your own failings is an excellent way to stop working towards any achievement at all. Sir, may I ask you something in relation to the works exhibited here? Please do! I've been a curator here for over 20 years. There's not a thing you could tell me about this place that would take me by surprise. Very well. Might you confirm a piece with this name exists in the building, then? So swiftly had Holmes taken out the note and presented it to the curator that I hadn't realized what he was doing until he received an answer. Yes! That painting is being exhibited in a room on the top floor. The inspector has been persistent in his questions about that room. Are there any hidden passages? No secret doors, are there? I'm in your debt. You've been most helpful. I've been watching over that painting and the necklace Jean Lupin targets for as long as I can remember. I know they belong to this nation and not this building, but I shudder to think of them being mishandled by those who would do them harm. That's precisely why I called upon your services. It's a selfish act of a mere employee, but I beg that you prevent this theft. You needn't fear. No one will steal Odelay's eye tonight. Or ever. What confidence! And I'm so pleased to hear it. Do you already know what Lupin Jr. will do? And what of the thief who stole Mr. Phelps's prize earrings? Indeed, I know the answer to both these things. Not only does a single suspect come to mind, but I know he'll be making his appearance tonight, for he is yet to understand that Lupin Jr. is only using him to do his dirty work. All I lack on these cases is conclusive evidence. 4 days ago, the light in the room was still broken. It shouldn't have been possible to know what color the gemstones were without being explicitly told. And that should have been the first time he saw them, unless... But we have all the evidence we need, don't we? We do? Do you recall what we were told at the mansion? A lone pair of footsteps echoed in the otherwise empty display room on the top floor. It was by the light of the moon that one could see a figure making their way across. This room was where the true Odelay's eye was hidden, and this figure who stood within reach was an officer. He surveyed each and every painting he came across with a lamp in his hand. Only when in front of one particular painting did he stop at last. Its name was the goddess Ariadne. The officer placed the lamp on the floor gently to avoid noise, and then, with a greedy and prideful countenance, reached toward what was to be his reward. When he could nearly touch that which he desired. Stop right there! The painting, as well as this man with his outstretched hands, were surrounded by us in Scotland Yard. I cannot proclaim to be an expert on gemstones. Holmes stared directly into the eyes of the culprit. However, I know one thing to be true from our class studies. The gemstone used in Odelay's eye was also used for a pair of earrings. That which is known as Odelay's tears. It was upon receiving a request regarding Mr. Ernest Phelps's missing earrings that I divined the two separate cases had, in fact, one answer. You knew Mr. Phelps owned the other half of Odelay's eye, didn't you? It was the only reason you became friends with him. And since you wanted both for yourself, you conceived a plan with none other than a gentleman thief to steal the necklace. You must have tempted him with ownership of a complete blue diamond. Love that. It's like Danganronpa. Ah! Isn't that right, Mr. Frank Sutton? I told you. What did I say from the very beginning? Frank probably did it because your friends were attempting to murder you and or steal your shit. Ludicrous! Oh. First of all, in what manner could I contact Lupin? Oh, a number of possibilities come to mind. The most likely would be you picked a day when he declared one of his thefts and made attempts to meet with him during the act. the goddess now looked down upon her admirer, a criminal, a man whose face was no longer obscured but remained excited with pride, even when cornered. He barely resembled the kind soul who cared for Ernest Phelps. Frank Sutton remained where light first revealed him. In the seconds that passed, he did not blink, and so his eyes were fixed on Holmes, whites large, black pupils small, and his glare sharply reinforced by an open smile deprived of warmth. Something struck me as foul when Mr. Phelps described how officers left without conducting a proper investigation. Their efficiency leaves a lot to be desired, but the Scotland Yard I know does make a modest effort. Now, Holmes, you didn't have to say it like that. I wondered, could the officers at the scene have been imposters? Mr. Sutton, you explained that you were the one who telephoned the police instead of Anna when you happened upon her at the entrance. But that wasn't quite the case. After stealing the earrings, you waited for Anna, ready to make your coincidental appearance. When the time came, you didn't call for the yard, but your co-conspirators dressed as policemen. And how, in this situation, could I have stolen the earrings? Is it so unbelievable that the officers I called were useless? There's no scenario I can think of in which I had access to the safe. Blast it! After you arrived, you worked to calm everyone down, then inspected the mansion for any other stolen articles. That's correct, and I found the window of the study was left open. That's where the thief must have escaped. Impossible. Next to the window is a species of tree I happen to have at my own mansion. It's easy to climb up, but a climb down is far too difficult and time-consuming to make use of during a theft. All the branches and leaves grow upwards, towards the sky, so they stick and prick your body. The whole experience was ever so painful. I tried to get down on my own, but Pendleton spotted me. I thought he'd never stop scolding me. It was disastrous. Miss Whitley, that's enough childhood tales for one day. As a close friend, you would have known he was in the drawing room with guests during this period. You would have known as well that his maid would be in the kitchen, unless she had some specific reason to be out of it. You visited the day before the robbery, correct? Mr. Phelps thought you were being a good friend. He trusted you. He never once cast his suspicions on you when the earrings were stolen. No one in that mansion would have thought twice about you moving freely through the rooms. You took advantage of this and secretly unlocked the study's window the day before the robbery. On the day of the robbery itself, you intruded through the window while Mr. Phelps was in the drawing room and stole the earrings. My belief is that you lured him into opening the safe as a means of creating an alibi for yourself in the future. If you only just arrived with hunting book in hand after the theft was discovered, then by the victim's view, you could never have been present when the theft occurred. What you didn't anticipate was Mr. Phelps using the safe to retrieve his promissory note. He discovered the theft before you were comfortably able to take your leave. At most, you could rush to the entrance and play as though you'd only just arrived. It was there you met Anna. I will admit, planting into the mind everyone who would listen that the thief escaped through the open window was brilliant. A vulnerable mind is twice open to deception. Next, you had your partners in uniform check everyone to see if they possessed the stolen earrings, and by doing so, you were able to hand them off so they could take them from the mansion. Even if, for some reason, you were suspected and your belongings checked, the earrings would no longer be there to implicate you. You would be cleared of any potential wrongdoing. But only Ernest knows the combination to open the safe. It simply isn't possible for me to open it. True. Mr. Sutton, am I correct when stating that you know the light in the study has been broken for a week? And the first time you saw the earrings was 4 days ago after dark. And? What of it? The room must have been nearly black when Mr. Phelps went to open the safe. That's terribly inconvenient when one has a dial lock, which must be slowly twisted in a very specific order. Were he to make any mistakes in that dark, dark room, he would have no choice but to start again at the beginning. It's a very impractical thing to do, most would say. I imagine you, being such a good friend, said something like this. Shall I shine a lamp on the dial to make it easier? Mr. Phelps is a trusting individual who would not decline an offer from a friend, something you discreetly took advantage of. This was how you learned the combination without being told directly. Why, you didn't need to be told directly. I'd wager you're the one who broke the light, too. A perfect plan, and still you were caught. Evidence! Oh, where's your evidence? Can you prove beyond circumstances that I'm your thief? That I stole your earrings? The evidence is your testimony. What? Upon our initial questioning at the mansion, you had this to say. They were a timeless design made of silver. Each one is befitted with a blue gem at its center. So I did. Where's the evidence? Mr. Phelps only told you, again by your own testimony, that the earrings belonged to his grandmother and served as a memento. I still see nothing wrong. How did you know the gems were blue? Because Ernest showed them to... No! Mr. Sutton, recall what we've previously established. The light in the study has been broken for a week. At the moment he showed you the earrings, you would be unable to tell the color from the light you had. No one could. After all, the ornamental lamps Mr. Phelps collects are made using colored glass. Why the fuck? Okay, I get this, and it's like, I get where they're going with this, but let's just back it up for a second. Why the fuck would you be like, hey, the light in here doesn't work. Let me show you these earrings. Can you see them? Oh, wow, they look great. By the light of the motherfucking moon in the dark? Who does that? Like, I get they had to do that to work the rest of the theory out so that this makes sense, but I'm just really questioning Ernest's fucking, just his mental state. Like, he's like, let me open the safe in the motherfucking dark and show you the earrings. Ooh, there's shadows. I see nothing. It's fucking dark in here. Like, that's the oddest part of this whole fucking story. Anyway. If that was the only time you saw them, then how could you have possibly known what color they were? The only explanation is that you're the one who stole them. You knew they were made of the same blue diamond as Odelay's eye. From the very beginning, you knew the true value of Odelay's tears and had every intention of making them yours. I thought they stole the earrings because they looked like the necklace, like to swap them out, like whatever, but it's because they're actually... Because Frank was like... Not Frank. Ernest is like, they're just worthless. Oh, they're not worth anything. But they are worth something. He just doesn't know it. Damn it all! Mr. Sutton fell to his knees. If only I hadn't called you for detectives over a reason as imbecilic as missing a keepsake. How did you even find this place? I'm only here because he used you. That's why. Holmes presented the crumbled paper he had lightly rubbed with charcoal to the criminal. 7 p.m., 10-9. Retrieved from behind Ariadne, the Queen's house. I said fire to that paper. Why do you have it? Miss Reminen was in the same room as the safe. He must have been hoping a clever someone would chance upon it. Perhaps you'd think it was he who hid the necklace behind the painting after he stole it, but that's where you're mistaken. This is where Scotland Yard hid it in order to trick Lupin Jr. He learnt of the true whereabouts himself and then passed that information along to you as bait. But how do you think that paper... But doesn't anyone find it suspicious that that crumpled paper is in the study? Why would Frank have written it down while in Ernest's house? It sounds to me like Lupin planted that there, like when he fell, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know, but... It is here, the location only known and guarded securely by the police, where you would come. Certainly, you must have impersonated an officer, discovered the necklace's location, and passed this information to you through that note. What other reason would such a note be left in Mr. Phelps's mansion if not for his fellow thief to find? I'll give you that I discovered the note in my pocket directly after you left. God, this madness, it's all a mistake. I found that note in my pocket after you left. Oh, wow, so nobody caught that? I mean, we know, and it's not supposed to be a secret to us. It's not supposed to be like, oh, it's not supposed to be some big reveal that Lupin is Lupin. But, I just think it's funny that nobody else caught that. Okay. That devil is the one responsible for this. I was only following orders. He's the money grubber. He's the thief. Do you believe you can worm your way out of this? We've looked into your background. You're part of a gang of lowly thieves who have stolen money, fine arts, and accessories throughout London. You're also suspected of 3 robbery homicides. You and your partners can try all you like to cover up your crimes. But we'll reveal them all and expose them to the light of the sun. The truth can't stay hidden forever. Your day will come. Inspector Lestrade stepped toward Mr. Sutton to conclude the matter once and for all. Frank Sutton, you're hereby under... You can't take me! What? Inspector! In a flash, the horrid man grabbed Inspector Lestrade and pulled. The surrounding officers attempted to charge, only for their first step to be in vain. Mr. Sutton thrust the inspector forwards to block the view of Watson and Holmes, and used the moment to take me next. Eek! Watch out, Spacey! Miss Whitley. Out of my way or I'll slice the girl's throat. I felt the burn of steel pressing into my neck. With me as his hostage, he edged backwards toward the balcony. Is Lupin gonna save us? Not like John Lupin. Jean Lupin. Gentleman thief. Yeah. GT. Holmes, Spacey's gonna be taken at this rate. Surely you have a plan. How can this be? I have to stop him. I must do something. This is when Pendleton comes like fucking swinging in with like his goddamn bow and arrow or something, because you know he's an elfin prince. And he's like, "You shall not hurt my mistress." How dare you? I just want craziness to ensue. I just want the fucking like where you're like, wait, how the fuck did Pendleton get here and what the fuck is he doing like fucking parkouring off of shit? And maybe because he's like. My imagination is a crazy place. I'm not drinking, I swear. But then you see, this chaos was subdued by a fantastic turn of events. Ah, it is. The real Lupin shows up. Okay, we have to. I can't wait to give him the Lupin treatment. Yes, very well. Excusez-moi, mademoiselle, messieurs. It is I, Jean Lupin. Yes, the gentleman thief himself. And I have taken the necklace you call Odelai's eye. A new voice called to attention everyone in the room. Before the goddess Ariadne, and flattered by the light, stood a handsome boy with golden hair. And we don't recognize him. In his hands was the diamond necklace. Lupin? I screamed his name. Ah! At this, a gunshot screamed louder, and the knife at my neck was hurled into the air. Who was it? Who shot me? The knife flew into an arch before landing on the floor with a clatter. Or so I heard, as I never did see it hit the ground. Before I had a chance, Lupin dashed to me, and my vision was clouded fast by a white cloak. From what I could see next, we had flown out of the window and into the sky. He is so beautiful. I love... Okay. The giant fucking eyes, this is okay. It's acceptable because she's in shock. Look at how fucking beautiful he is. I love this. Are you alright, my princess? My princess? I don't know how to say that in French, but anyway. Why am I so close to him? Why is he holding me in his arms? Why am I flying? Seriously? She's like, my skirt is all up. These are my... Oh my god. Bloomers! If you could answer me one please. A drink in the silence. Lupin brushed our foreheads together flirtatiously, noses touching, as he had no free hands to place on my lips to silence me. The effect worked all the same, and I fell into a hopeless stammer. I beg your... The mood is most enchanting tonight. We would do well to bask in its romantic glow whilst we still can. Well, will you humble me? I completely lost my will to flail and fight, and certainly I hadn't any desire to fall down from so high up. Perhaps innocence and folly were one in retrospect, but there was, too, a playfulness to his coquetry that stole away my want to protest. Lupin held me close, a makeshift glider keeping us aloft as he whisked me through a glittering sky. I love him so much. I'm glad this is one that we have to do at the end. Like, Miss Whitley was by the Jean Lupin. She's been kidnapped. Okay, whatever. Let go of me, you sod. And don't you touch me. May we, Holmes, by your lead. That's enough from you. Shut up already! Huh. Holmes and Watson's fist struck Frank Sutton at the same time, forcing him to double over in pain. Restrain him! Yes, sir! By the sergeant's orders, the officers swiftly apprehended the criminal. I never would have guessed that Frank was a cop, but... Inspector! We're in a bit of a fix. Odeley's eye has been stolen by none other than Lupin Jr. Bloody hell. I knew that, you idiot. After him, now. Inspector Lestrade barked orders at the men as his sergeant assisted him in standing up again. Sir, the necklace I meant was the false one. The one exhibited in the display room. What? Oh, why would he steal that one, too? By the time we arrived, it was already missing from the case. We found his calling card in its place, sir. But he knew it was fake. He stole... Wait. But he knew it was fake because he was there. So anyway. Is this a playing card? See here. It's the Queen of Diamonds. The whole scene was very queer, it was. We found 3 officers knocked out in that same room. But they weren't any officers of ours. They just happened to be wearing our uniforms. What the devil does that mean? We looked into their identities and discovered they were partners of Frank Sutton's, all of whom had committed several crimes right here in London. Okay, so they were... Okay, so Frank Sutton had them come in, steal the necklace, put a card, and they all ended up getting knocked out. Lupin stole the real necklace. They were going to steal the fake one. This is like fucking insane. And now all we need to do is capture their leader, Frank Sutton. Your order, sir? Hang it all. The one we arrested was Frank Sutton. He was? Take them away and chase after the gentleman thief. But Inspector, which order should I follow? For God's sake, just arrest Lupin Jr. Yes, sir. Wow, they're fucking... Holmes Jr., will you accept my... Where did they go? I just walked past him and his assistant when I was coming into the room. Oh, we have no time to waste on this spectacle. Inspector, I'm leaving. Steady on your feet now. Gentle, Ryan. Be more gentle when you let go. Well, I'm sure God has a good laugh at my poor luck. Well, this has been quite an eventful evening. The gem may be in the hands of a thief, but a gentleman ought to know how to treat her with care. Now, where did that bespectacled boy run off to? I hope he's not gotten himself lost. Like, everyone left him behind. Like, nobody even thought about it. And, like, see, I love this. Again, we fucking know Lupin and Lupin are the same. Like, you know, it's not like it's a surprise. There's no mystery. You're not, you know, I'm curious if you know the characters. You know what I mean? But it's so funny that they kind of were like, where did the bespectacled boy go? Huh, I don't know. And you're like, okay. If he had a different name, if they hadn't given him John Lupine or whatever with the E, if it was supposed to be Lupin with an E, whatever. If they had given him a name like Tom Smith or something, then you would have been like, wait, I'm pretty sure he's Lupin. Wait, what's going on? Okay, it's a secret identity. But they gave him an obvious name, so it was fucking easy. Like, it was way more obvious than the, wait, is a hidden secret identity? I don't know, you know. Lupin finally landed atop a hill in Greenwich Park. Upon his feet touching the ground, he helped me back to my own with a sort of tenderness that reminded me of a prince. The energy of the wind whilst gliding... Oh, the energy of the wind whilst gliding was no more. My mind could see with clarity again, but that only bid me more confusion. The entire night had proven so ridiculous that all of it, even this moment in the park, could have very well and very acceptingly been a dream. Spacey, do you know the story behind this gem? What is he thinking? I don't see why he would bring me here. I must stay calm. I'll arrest him as soon as he's off his guard. What is it? A long, long time ago, a boy from a royal family was consumed with passion for a girl. She was the daughter of the nobility. And they loved one another, but those around them would not allow them peace. As a prince, he knew that he would be forced to marry someone else for the sake of his country. As he knew their love would never bear fruit, he gifted her the earrings, Odeley's tears, whilst he kept Odeley's eye. I believe he wished with all his heart that someday, that which was forced apart would one day be whole again. What a tragic story. Tragic indeed, but is it not beautiful as well? Their eternal separation inspired a passion that never wavered, never faded. And you see proof of their passion in the necklace and earrings, which remain as magnificent as the day they were crafted. I value beauty above all, and that's why I so desired this gem. I nearly lost myself in his tale of love, but the necklace shimmering in his hand brought me back to reality. No matter what pretty words you used to gloss over the facts, what you did was burglary. A crime. Come now, aren't you merely parroting Monsieur Holmes? Lupin carried whimsy with natural adroitness, and his smile felt more sincere when worn sly. I love anything that is beautiful, and I despise anything that is not. That band of ruffians contacted me, thinking they could tempt me with such rubbish. How would you like a perfect blue diamond? And that's not a speck of beauty to be found in their way. There's not a speck of beauty to be found in their ways. My desire to cooperate with them dropped to nothing the second they sent me that arrogant letter. And no, their ways don't just lack beauty. They are repugnant, shameful. So I decided to punish them. I suspect the ones who tried to pass themselves off as policemen are in the custody of the real thing after being disabled by the anesthetic. My, has this night of plunder worked wonders for them. I may have used them, but they were planning to perish me and take the necklace after I stole it. Or try at any rate. You reap what you sow. You used us and the police to have those thieves arrested then? I mean, it was kind of a noble thing. I did, but the outcome wasn't so bad for your side now, was it? Thanks to me, you arrested a band of thieves and murderers. I saved you from mortal peril, too, with grace and style. You're still awful. You'll not convince me any different by flattering yourself. You don't think so? I would have thought whisking a captive princess out an open window and into the sea of stars above, a full moon shining, was worthy of being considered with grace and style by anyone's judgment. Well, I don't. You stole the necklace as you claimed, and we still need to give the stolen earrings back to their rightful owner. Oh, what stolen earrings? Do you mean the ones you wear as we flirt? What? I instinctively reached up and touched my ears. Sure enough, as he said it, something cold and solid dangled from them. I did a second inspection by looking with my hand glass. Simply designed, silver earrings with blue gems embedded at their center were at each side. How long have they been there? Heaven only knows. Perhaps they fled Frank Sutton's nasty pocket and took refuge along such pretty ears of their own will. Oh, enough speaking nonsense! I fucking love him. He's great. I can only assume that he must have taken them from Mr. Sutton at the same time as he whisked me away. Do you mock me? I'm insulted that you would take me as so naive. But simply telling you the truth would be so boring, surely. And from my perspective, you seem much too fun to tease. I think unbelievable lies are much more boring. I knew the way he dictated our flow of conversation, with his flowery words and twisting of the truth, would have me sooner worked into a fury than able to capture him. I needed to restrain my anger. You claim to be different to them, but didn't you want both the necklace and earrings? Please, and do not put me in the same league as them. I give all of the creations of beauty I target an equal, deep affection. What man would I be if I were to allow my eye to be captivated by one whilst pursuing another? To be so unfaithful is just cruel. You speak of jewels like they're lovers. And that is a good analogy. I like it. And you have to treat beautiful things with love and tenderness, and the earrings have someone waiting for their return to boot. I can admire the heart of one waiting for them. Such earnest, beautiful feelings can't help but move me. I thought of Lupin as someone who was only fond of his tools so long as they made themselves useful in pursuing his goal. But perhaps not. He's following the path he thinks is most beautiful. He has his own philosophy, which he never compromises. Lupin stood right before my eyes, but listening to him brought forth an odd sense of distance between us that was greater than it really was. He felt closer to his shadow in the darkness, which could never be caught by human hands, an intangible thing meant to stay forever out of reach. Who in the world are you? I am not a ghost, nor am I the hero of a fairy tale. I am but a simple man who is true to himself. I can use a bit of magic, though. I could, say, cast a spell that would bind your heart to mine. 'Twould be a spell to keep those pure eyes of yours fixed upon me and only me. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Yes, it does, actually. Fucking does. He doesn't even need to. Are you not captivated by him? I absolutely fucking am. And it's because we're giving him the Lupin fucking voice treatment, but that's because he's Lupin Jr., so it just works. And I love it. I love him so much. Oh my god, I love him. It sounds terrible. Does not. It sounds fucking magical. I agree. That sounds magical. We should do this. There was just something about the way he spoke. The way he manipulated language to create a vivid picture in my mind that threatened to enchant me, but I struggled on. Perhaps he really can use magic. No, that's silly. He's using the word in a figurative sense. Then I became aware of other sounds from far away. Oh dear, here comes your escort. I should have known it wouldn't take him long to pursue us. I'd dearly love to stay, Spacey, but alas, I'm afraid I must be Wait! I've no intention of letting you leave with that necklace. I may not be among the best of them now, but I want to be a detective someday. And I may think of myself as kind, but I must absolutely put my foot down on this. My eyes were rawfully focused on him in hopes of overwhelming him. He would back down. He must. Oh, would you please stop staring at me with such fire in your eyes? I cannot help but question if it's a burning passion for me that's been lighted within them. What? You're completely mad! I was kidding. Oh my. In all my time, I've never met a princess as gallant as you, Spacey. Lupin raised his hands up, the sign of surrender. I had won! The loss is mine. In the face of your strength, your beauty, and those charming eyes, I have little choice but to relinquish this necklace. Truly? I could never lie to a lady. I shall return the necklace I stole in that room to you. You say that, but you were lying mere moments ago. That was only to tease you. It doesn't count. How was I honestly meant to believe a word that came from his mouth? I do, however, wish for something in return. You do? Like what? I grew restless. A man like him would not waste his breath on a small request. I'll count down from 10, and you are to keep your eyes closed till I'm finished. That's it? You want the necklace, and I can provide it. The method's as efficient as it is foolproof. Well, do we have a deal? If I spent too long musing alternatives, he might withdraw his offer and leave me with nothing. This is to get the necklace back. Nothing more. Oh god, are we going to make a choice? Very well. We have a deal. Lupin's eyes flickered in surprise. Thank you for putting your trust in me. His sly smile transformed to one of warmth as he took a chivalrous bow. I feel a bit awkward doing this when you are so ill at ease, if I'm honest. Oh, what could it be? Oh, I know. Is it not nerves, but frustration? I am hardly flustered. Good lord, you're a thief! Ah, my apologies. I only said it hoping I was right. All right then. Calm down, my princess. Ma princess? I don't know how to fucking say it in French. I don't. And please, come with me. He led me to a bench in the park. Do you feel more comfortable now? I feel the same, if you must know. That's not the most endearing response, and yet there is something very endearing about the way you say it. Never had I been introduced to a walking contradiction like him. I chose not to point it out. I had no more desire to be cooed and toyed with. Are you ready, my princess? Ma princess? I am. Do your worst, you cur! How colorful. But well, that's another one of your charms. Close your eyes and remember, you are not to open them till I've finished counting. Ready? 10, 9, 8. I closed my eyes as fiercely as I could. Lupin kept counting, and as he did, I could tell from his voice that he was edging closer. Not only closer, but right before my face. My body grew tense. I thought he was going to kiss her. Like, I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I was like, he's going to be like, oh, for a kiss. And she's going to be like, what the fuck? 7, 6, 5. A clinking sound disturbed the silence. The necklace. The one he stole from the room. Did he steal the fake one too, though? It had been placed around my neck with a certain consideration for me. Though I was startled upon feeling it, it was colder than I expected. But I'm pleased to have it back. 4, 3, 2. Thief might have had to come close to return the necklace, but his voice right now was too close, even taking that into account. And he still had not removed his hands from my shoulders. Any closer, and I thought our noses might touch again. I wonder if I should. Keep your eyes closed. You promised. I told him we have a deal, and I have my pride. I need to trust him. Then a thought came to me. 1. Farewell, Spacey. Told you. It was as he said the last number that something soft pressed against my lips. I told you he was going to fucking kiss her. His hold on my shoulders tightened. Not tight enough to imprison me, but mild enough to remind me he was present. Huh? My breathing stopped. What is he doing? It's soft. Warm. I have a feeling that if you opened your eyes, he would have been like, ah, and then he, not have kissed her. Well, the feeling passed. I couldn't tell if it lasted an instant or longer. Trying to reason with that softness was... I slowly opened my eyes in hopes of gaining an answer. Oh, trying to reason what that softness was. Okay. He's gone. Lupin was nowhere to be seen. All that remained at the scene was me, seated on that bench with a lovely necklace around my neck and a lingering flutter of warmth. Just what was that? I touched my lips as if doing so would bring me an answer. The softness was... It was like a kiss. A kiss. A kiss? Was that a kiss? I mean, you should know. What? My body was suddenly assaulted by a revelation so great that I could no longer sit still. I stood upright from the bench. Oh no, it can't be. What a fabrication. But a fabrication it was not. My face ignited and grew startlingly warmer as seconds passed. My heart started thumping at a rate that might as well have been a hammer trying to beat its way out of my body. My first kiss was... God! Was it taken by Lupin? I never thought it would be stolen by an infamous thief! That's fucking hilarious, actually. I glued my hands to my cheeks in some fruitless attempt to drain the heat from them, mind racing, heart expanding in size, when my rescuers approached. Her first kiss was stolen by a thief. This is great. I just love the poetry, and that's beautiful. Spacey! There you are! Miss Whitley, are you safe? The police must have stayed behind, for it was only the two who arrived. Holmes! Watson! I'm perfectly safe. Then what of Lupin? He managed to flee. But look! I got back the earrings and necklace from him! I removed both sets and entrusted them to him. So you did? You're a marvel, Spacey. We should let the inspector know this. We can, I suppose. But he really got us this time. In his hand, Holmes clenched Odalé's eye with an unpolished grip. What do you mean? He didn't see what happened, did he? Holmes, listen, I didn't expect that would happen. He then vanished before I knew it and... What are you blabbering on about? Don't tell me you haven't noticed. This necklace is an imitation. I knew it. I knew he was going to give us the fucking fake one. What? It is? Indeed. There is a relief of England on the back. I can only mean it's the false one Scotland Yard had made. This is awful! No! Spacey, what's wrong? How could this be? After so much work, the realization stunned me so that I lost my strength and collapsed to the ground at once. As I did, I noticed a card fluttering to my feet. Huh? Oh, look at this be. Watson picked it up. The Queen of Hearts. So he stole it just as he said he would. Excellent. The loss is mine. In the face of your strength, your beauty, and those charming eyes, I have little choice but to relinquish this necklace. Yes, this one. The one in my hands. That's the fake. I can never lie to a lady. I shall return the necklace I stole in that room to you. Farewell, Spacey. He gave me a false necklace and turned me around this way and that. He played with my mind. What? Spacey? He's unforgivable. I will arrest him and make him apologize to me. I swear it. I've never seen her this angry. Neither have I. I will arrest Lupin if it's the last thing I do. I love it. I love it. The last thing you do, huh? She really is the most gallant princess I've ever met. I thought I was paying tribute to your bravery in my own way, but perhaps I might have overdone it. I wasn't expecting her to trust me with such sincerity. Ta-ta! I'm looking forward to seeing the three of you again." Those were his last words as he escaped into the darkness. After Lupin's departure, Holmes, Watson, and I stood in the park awaiting Pendleton's return. "My lady, I returned Odelay's tears to Mr. Ernest Phelps, per your request." "Thank you very much, Pendleton." Pendleton came to collect us after I asked the police to call for him. I'd also asked him to return the earrings to their rightful owner before we departed. "You don't look well. What happened? Except for the fact that you were whisked away by the gentleman thief." "If you know why, don't ask me." "It looks as though you've been through an experience far worse than one of my lectures. I'll spare you having to talk about it for now." Mr. Phelps was overjoyed upon receiving his earrings back, however. He intends to keep them close to his heart however he can. He's lastly mentioned he would like for you to visit his home at your convenience, so that he may thank you personally. I wonder if the nobleman's daughter is related to Mr. Phelps. I couldn't very well trust the tragic love story I'd heard from Lupin, but that Mr. Phelps was pleased brought me relief all the same. He said he offered his best wishes to the four of you for getting them back for him. "Four," he said. "Why four? I feel like I'm forgetting something." Four of us would include me, Holmes, Watson, and... "Oh, no! Lupin, what happened to you?" "That's who it was! I forgot all about him." Lupin's hair was a mess, and his clothes were filthy with dirt. I woke up in the curator's office, and then I spilled the tea he made for me. So I decided to go through the museum to find all of you, only to be caught up in a group that was very worked up about finding Lupin. I dropped my ring, tripped over on a few occasions, but at least I found you." "It astounds me that you made it here at all, Lupin." "It's a waste that I've come after Lupin's theft. The case is already over." "Oh, no it isn't." "We'll arrest him if it's the last thing we do." "What? Why are you both so angry?" "I don't pay them any mind. They are both fooled by Lupin." "Both of them?" I didn't know Lupin possessed such cunning. I feel terrible for not being with you to help." "You needn't feel any guilt, Lupin." I feel like we should be calling him Lupine, or whatever. Lupine. Lupine? Lupine. John Lupine. Because we're saying Lupin and Lupin and Lupin, and it's getting really confusing now, but whatever. "Absolutely. This isn't your fault. This is all Lupin's fault." If you insist." The discussion moved along to how we were all going to get home, and it was decided that I would say my goodbyes to them and return on the carriage with my butler. "Are you certain you'll be able to make your own way home, Lupin?" I feel like we should call him Lupine, but I can't now. It's too late. "Very. I live quite close to here." "Well, that's good. See you tomorrow, then. Take care not to drop your ring or trip anymore on your way home." "Good night." "Good night. I'll see you at school." Watson and Holmes set off together, walking side by side. Lupin and I were left. "I'm sorry we've caused you so much grief, Lupin. We did nothing but drag you this way and that, wherever it displeased you to go. It happens to me often, so I'm rather used to it. Yet the invitation to join held no value for you. I ruined your investigation upon every step. But it was your fall that led us to the note. You were of untold value, in my opinion. And the headache is worthwhile, in some odd sense. And you always make certain to pick up that ring no matter how many times you drop it, don't you? You never give up on what's dear to you, and I find that to be just lovely. Thank you. Very sincerely thank you. Everyone else thinks of me as a worthless man for dropping it so often. Like, that look, I love it. You're the first to ever pay me a kind word about it. You were truly kind." Lupin smiled bashfully. Feels like I've seen this smile before. "Well, I should be off now. Farewell, Miss Whitley." "Farewell, Spacey." Yes, until tomorrow, then." Lupin walked past the carriage, securing his ring tightly on his finger with his other hand. "Are you troubled by something, my lady?" Nothing at all. Let's go home." "Very well." It's quite a breathtaking necklace, no matter how many times you set eyes on it. I want to return the false necklace to the police, but they bitterly proclaimed that they never wanted to see it again. I couldn't very well leave it without a home, so I chose to take it with me. I wonder if I'll be able to become a woman worthy of something this beautiful. One just like Mother. I placed my hand on her pendant. Could this be the start of you taking an interest in jewelry, my lady? If you don't mind my asking, Pendleton, were you carrying something heavy elsewhere before you came to escort me home? What makes you ask? You're wearing different gloves than the ones you usually do, and the left shoulder of your jacket is wrinkled. You also have white powder at the tips of your boots. Did you carry something heavy in the house? You're blossoming into a fine detective, my lady. You see, we mistakenly ordered too much flour, so more was delivered to the mansion than expected. I helped to carry it inside and dirtied my gloves in the process. The ones I'm wearing now are a spare I keep on my person, should they be needed. I see. It must be difficult to wash flour out of fabric. But the more flour we have, the more sweets we can make. Have you not any thoughts? Fear not, my lady. I'll be carefully managing your diet as I always do, regardless of the ingredients we have. As always! But I should have known. I was crestfallen by the response, a feeling which childishly lingered as I returned to my room. Her wit is to be commended, and I was very observant. As it was my mistake also, I should have removed the lime from the Queen's house before my return. It might be time to give the rifle a better hiding place, and the carriage won't do for much longer. Hold the fucking phone. Hold the fucking phone. Did you just fucking piece that shit together? Because I did, and I'm dying. Because what did I fucking say when Frank had us captured? I was like, I want fucking Pendleton to come flying in here and just fucking kick his ass like a fucking, like, magic. Get his bow and arrow. No! He was in a carriage with a fucking rifle and shot him! Oh! Pendleton, I love you so fucking much. He did exactly what I wanted him to do. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die. I swear to God. I did not know that was actually gonna happen. I really didn't. Oh my god, I'm dying. Oh, that's the best. I can't even fucking believe that. Pendleton, I want you to come into a rescue. Oh, like a fucking. Oh my god, and he really was. Oh, shit. It wasn't a bow and arrow, it was a rifle, but still, same fucking thing. He did exactly. Oh my god. I can't even. Pendleton is the real MVP of this game. I'm not even kidding. I don't care how great all the routes are and how great the boys are, because so far they've all been great. I love Pendleton the most. He's my hero. Oh my god. They really do need to come out with a second version of, like, a second of this game. And they really need a route with Pendleton, because I fucking love him to no end. And oh my god, this just cinched it. So he's just like, be still my heart, Pendleton, you're fucking amazing. I can't even fucking. I'm gonna be reeling about that for days, literally. That's all I'm just gonna imagine is just how fucking amazing it is that I'm saying that in that part, and like, because yeah, I totally forgot that they didn't wrap it up and they didn't tell you like who shot him. Is like, oh, somebody shot him, and like, whatever, blah blah blah, and then Lupin grabs her, and you're like, oh, okay. I was thinking maybe Lupin did it, whatever. I really honestly didn't think it was fucking Pendleton. But when she saw like the white flower or the white stuff on his shoes, I was like, was he at just like Holmes had seen it on Lupin, and I was like, was Pendleton there? Are we supposed to like suspect him of something odd? You know what I mean? Like suspicious? Like, cause what? But yeah, so he was there. Mm-hmm. That's, but to rescue our ass. Oh my god, that's fucking great. I can not. Oh my god. This game is great. This game is really good. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this part up here, and I'm just gonna literally like I think I'm just gonna lay on the floor and just revel in how amazing this is right now. Just that little bit. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.